Hey guys, it's Ashley here with More Than Conversation, where we do life and
Talk about it.
And I'm here with my lovely co-hosts. Guys, introduce yourselves.
Oh, we're lovely.
Yeah, you see, it's your boy Ash. Take it easy.
Yeah, you know, it's your boy Trey, and if we did it my way, we did this every day.
And it's your girl Eb. Back at it again. I wanted to say with the white vans, but that doesn't count. Do y'all remember that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, back at it again with the white vans. Spicy, man.
I remember that.
So yeah, I know you guys see Ashley here. She's been in like a couple episodes thus far. We all love Lex. I'm saying this like something happened to him or like we beefing for real. Lex is currently on a series of business trips.
Yeah.
What he really wanted me to
moves.
say was he is in jail for back child support.
He wasn't paying his child support.
Lex has no kids, people.
He has no kids. And literally.
But if you ask him, he would tell you he does, bro.
But literally, that's what he wanted us to say. Why? I don't know. He's just funny. So that's just Lex. But yeah, so he's going to be missing from a few episodes. But don't be alarmed, y'all. He's coming back because, yeah, but till then. If y'all see a random jump, that's because people keep saying stuff.
You?
If y'all hear a random jump, that's because people keep saying stuff and it's erupted. So I had to cut it, okay? But anyway, Ashley, you just know Lex coming back. That's really all it is.
Okay, so now that we got that settled, how is your guys' weekends? Or wait, what's today? It doesn't. Oh,
It's
yeah,
the day of
Sunday.
the Lord.
So how is your week? How is your past week, I should say?
Tiring. I worked like 10-hour days to get the weekend off. But I baked the best guava duff with my mother-in-law. It slapped so hard. It was so good. We only have like this much left because Ashton keep cutting like the biggest pieces out of it.
As you should, my boy. He's a growing man. He needs to eat.
Yeah, but who can bake the next one?
Again?
Mommy ain't here no more. We have to do it ourselves.
Yeah, you didn't do it with her, so
I mean,
now
I-
you know how to do it.
Anyway, it's been a long week. It's Labor Day weekend, so you
that's
know.
facts.
Yeah.
And then I went to Battle of the Bands yesterday, and I saw the dancing dolls. If you know me, I've been watching Bring It since high school, bro. So
I love the dancing dolls.
it was so good to see like Diana in the
D4L.
No, y'all. She literally she reposted my story that I tagged her in. Like she literally reposted it. I'm
From
famous.
Jackson State, Mississippi.
The dancing dolls.
Wow, that brings me
He's-
back.
Like literally, I've rewatched that show so much times. I love.
Yeah, I feel like I was
Majorette.
brainwashed.
So yeah, we did that. But it's been a good weekend. Melissa and Louis got married this weekend. Got to witness that union. Congratulations.
Yeah, I've been to the
guys.
wedding with her too.
Guys.
And I've been to the marching bands with her as well. So it's not just her.
You're my husband.
Yeah,
you went with
okay.
me by default. And
No.
you don't got your ring on
It's-
and you speaking right now?
Whoa.
Just stop speaking.
Because you kept talking so long. Like you had a long weekend.
Oh, wow.
It's not
I'm
just
done.
you.
I'm done. Okay. I won't talk anymore.
But what else happened in the weekend? I was invested.
I had a grand uprising, a strong awakening. And I thank God.
That's like granddad.
What happened?
Okay.
Is that what's
It was just an interesting choice of words.
Yeah.
what's wrong with those words?
Nothing is. They were kind of strong.
No, but like for me, it's like
Isn't God strong?
it's kind of like what does that mean?
God is
But also
strong.
like I get you, but what does that mean?
Anyway, what about you, Trey? How was your
My whole week is a blur right now. To be honest, aside from work, I can't tell you what else I did.
It happens.
Yeah, bro.
what about you, Ashley?
I'm gonna say my week was a blur too. It happens like that. I don't know what I did yesterday. All I know is I'm right here right now.
Amen,
and
girl.
I made it.
Yep.
It be like that. What about you?
Does it feel like 5 years has passed?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't
5
feel like
years.
5
What
years
does
has
this look
passed. But
like?
thank you for your question. No,
It sounds like they went through the blip.
no,
Man,
no.
Okay.
realistically, like, what would you do if you blinked and like it was like 5 years later? Wasn't there a movie like
Yeah,
that?
because for them it was like
think I would
they
be sad.
blinked and came back, and it was like,
Yeah.
I think I would be sad.
and they came back in the exact spot they were when they blipped,
Yeah.
which is also very crazy.
Hmm.
You know what it is if you by your mom's side while she dying and you flip and you come back in the same hospital room
And she
dark.
dead.
and she ain't even there.
We just took it to DC. It's no longer Marvel anymore.
Yo, oh my
That's what happened in WandaVision. The girl come back in the hospital, and when she came back after the blip, her mommy was dead.
That is crazy.
Why is that funny? Oh my god.
No, it's not funny.
Cause it's
No, I'm laughing like it's funny. I'm gonna cut all of that out because I don't want people to think I'm heartless because I'm not.
no.
Anyway, Ashley, yeah, just
Okay, so thank you everyone for sharing how your week was. Very interesting answers here. So moving on. So we've talked about in the past like the stepping stones of, you know, coming to Christ, receiving him, saying I believe, you know, and taking those steps. And now there's a part of this walk now where you have to accept that you are set apart, and you have to kind of cope with being set apart from like everything that you used to know. So can you guys really tell me like more about that? Like, what is that like? How do you navigate being set apart and, you know, coming to terms with that? Yeah.
How do I navigate? How do I find my path when standing out? It's hard. It's hard, I must say, because at times I do ask for God's help, but it's not every time. And to this day, it hasn't been every time, because most of the times it's been just me or other things trying to cope. Because honestly, standing out or being different, it's tough. And sometimes you're picked on, not even like, it doesn't even have to be in a mean way, but sometimes like people just go out their way just to mess with you, or just to, I guess, pick your brain or whatever, just to see why are you being different from all of us, or why are you acting different, why are you not joining us. And I could say I've experienced this probably majority of my life, and at some point I got used to it. It hasn't been a good thing to get used to when it's by myself, when it's me just coping with it. But I mean, like, asking God for help, I feel like it was when things started opening up. I'm still trying to do that every time, but when it was just me coping with me and coping with being different, I would just say you have to be mentally tough. You're mentally strong, and that's probably why yeah, you have to be mentally strong. And it's crazy because being mentally strong isn't even tied to spiritual, because it wasn't me being spiritually strong. It was me being mentally strong, and everybody can't go through that. So for people who suffering through that and you're not mentally strong, you think like mentally you can't sustain being different and going through people trying to get at you just for going a different path. Try. It's not easy. It won't be easy. It probably never will be easy. It'll be different, but try to find God as best as you can. And God helps us. Okay, let's say you try to build something without the manual and you get lost and you just jacking it up, because I've tried to do this multiple times, and Ebony always tells me, hey babe, did you read this, or did you try to figure this out first, or this,
you don't
that?
never want to listen to me and tell you gotta listen
Hey,
to
I'm
me.
giving you props right now.
Thank you, babe.
Okay?
Thanks.
This is your time to shine. Means like shush. Yes. And you try to build this and you get lost. And then you choose the second route after you fail. You read the manual. It's not easy, but it's more progressive, and you find yourself, okay, you're getting to this part, you're getting to the next step, you're getting to the next step. It isn't easy reading through an entire manual and figuring out everything what to do, but still you're moving on, you're getting better and better and better. And I feel like that's what happens when we include God. It's not going to be easy, but you're going to see things changing, you're going to see progression, you're going to see, like, you're going to be able to look up and say like, oh, or look down and see like, oh, that's where I was and look at where I am now. So yeah, That's how I feel about that.
Um, I would say with like being set apart, it was hard for me because I spent a lot of time being in the crowd. Even after I got baptized, I spent a lot of time like just being in places and doing things that I shouldn't have been doing. Um, and yeah, just partying and being wild. So at that point, I hadn't really committed myself to God the way I should have, and I didn't understand that it's not enough to just say, "Oh, I'm a Christian. I believe in God." Like you have to actively strive for that relationship. That's why we talked about coming to God as you are. That's why we talked about getting your prayer life together, reading the Bible daily, fasting regularly, stuff like that. I didn't realize that even though the Bible talks about it, I didn't realize how important it was to like be set apart and not do what everybody else is doing, because a lot of episodes ago we even talked about FOMO, and that was one of the reasons why I had such a hard time like being set apart and being different. And also I've experienced, seen, witnessed, been friends with a lot of believers that are lukewarm. So we say we love God, we at the front of the church on Sunday, we even serve and stuff like that, but like our lives outside of the church don't add up. It's like we're living two different lives, we're two different people, and that is in and of itself very exhausting. Although being set apart is hard, living a double life, I feel like that's way more exhausting, because in church you trying to put on this front like, oh, I love Jesus, and like, yeah, I'm a work in progress, but like when you leave, it's like you're not actively trying to progress. You just really in the world. And a while back I came upon this verse in 2 Corinthians 6, which was verse 17. Therefore come out from among unbelievers and separate yourselves from them, says the Lord. Do not or don't touch their filthy things, and I will welcome you. It's a lot more in that section from verse 14 to verse 18. It's basically just talking about how important it is just to be set apart, really. And then everybody know the famous OG verse from Romans 12, do not conform to the things of this world, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. We've mentioned that verse like a couple of times on the podcast already. But yeah, I honestly never really knew. And honestly, what helps me to be set apart now, I guess, is just staying in my own lane and minding my business. Like really, because social media can make you feel like you're supposed to be doing what everybody doing, or you're supposed to be where everybody at, and you're not. You're right where God needs you to be. And I think what made it hard too was I assumed that striving after God would be boring, because the only fun I really knew was going out and getting drunk. To be very like transparent, that's the only thing I thought was fun. I thought that and Ashton noticed very well, this is my biggest struggle. I thought that I couldn't go anywhere without drinking alcohol. Like, you want me to go out to a party or any event and not consume it? Are you crazy? Now it's just like, I realize how toxic it is in our culture to feel like nothing's ever fun without substance. Like, it's not fun if you don't drink or smoke or however. And in society, just being a whole person in society now is boring. So I don't know. Like, that's just, yeah. I had to just realize that I just need to focus on what's important, and that's God, and that's family, that's being present, and just finding my footing in my relationship with God. Really, that's, yeah. I still struggle though.
All right. Well, for me, it's kind of a hard question to answer because I wouldn't consider myself set apart yet, at least. Of course, you know, I'm working, trying to take active steps towards it. But as of right now, I'm still crawling. And so because of that, like, I can tell you what I think, you know, I would be doing once I am set apart, you know, or in order for me to stay that way, like, you know, I change the environments that I'm in. You know, you wouldn't see me a lot of the places that I may be now. Or at least if I'm there, like, it wouldn't be a lot. Whatever I do, like, at home in my free time, like, it'd be, whatever makes up my free time would be a lot different than it does now. So, like, I can see all of that in my future, but presently, you know, I'm working towards getting there.
That's good.
How?
Well, Bible reading. I still haven't. Well, I'm waiting on you guys. Actually, I want to do this fast with other people. You know. be
What
able
do
to
you
help.
want to fast from?
That I'll tell you all about certain foods and probably social media. Yeah. So of course, been praying more consistently, reading the Bible more consistently, and like I said, that's just consistency. But like the magnitude that I do it, it's still basically like the same. So like for example, I'll pray maybe twice a day, in the morning and at night.
That's.
Now,
I want to say that's so normal because
yeah,
that's
see, like that's normal. And like for now,
a
like
lot
I
of
say,
people
like,
just.
I'm making sure I do it every day.
Yeah.
But like soon it's gonna turn into okay. Now I'm also want to pray on my lunchtime.
I was just about to say, you're going to find yourself sitting at your desk feeling some random feeling. You be like, Lord, what is this? And that's a prayer. Or like
Yeah.
just taking a second when you frustrated to be like, Lord, help me to calm down. Help me to see this differently. Like it comes in waves. It's normal to start
exactly.
off to remember to thank God for waking you up and pray for your day. And then when you go to bed, to pray as well. But it starts to get more normal because the Bible says pray continually. And then you will realize that at any given moment on any day, it don't matter what's going on. You could literally stop and pray. It really don't matter. You don't have to pray out loud. You could just, and you could pray with your eyes open, wide open, just sit in public if you want to. It's just when you build, I guess, that intimacy and that relationship with God, it'll just like be second nature to be in constant communication
Yeah.
with Him.
See, and so yeah, that too. Same thing with the Bible reading. You know, I read the verse of the day in the morning. If it's something that I don't really understand, I'm gonna read around it. You know, make sure I get the full context.
Right.
But you know, but like I soon want to get to a place where like I really enjoy reading the Bible. You know what I mean? Like I wake up and it's like, all right, bet. Let me see what I'm gonna read today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, baby steps.
It's you could pray for that too. I don't know if you ever have thought about it, but you could pray for that too. Like, because there's a verse in Philippians that says God is giving us the desire and the strength to do what He calls us to do, something like that. It's in Philippians, but yeah, if you like pray and ask Him, God, help me to desire You, help me to desire Your Word more, help me to find joy in reading Your Word, joy in Your presence, and He'll provide that because. You don't just wake up like, oh my God, I get to read the Bible today. Like it don't just start off like that. Like you have to build up to that point where everything of God just makes you smile. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you just gotta pray for that and keep trying because the Bible lit. And I'm realizing, like, you gotta stop being so hard on yourself when you read the Bible. Because sometimes I read the Bible and I'm just like I don't have no notes to write on this. Like this ain't speaking to me. But there are people that will literally read the Bible from beginning to end just to read it. And then they go back and they read it and bring something out. But as you read, like, stuff starts sparking. You read something a second time and be like, wow, this didn't stand out to me the first time.
Or like one reason why I know that like sometimes I'm just reading just to read is that like I could read a whole, let's say maybe like 3 verses and I'm going to stop and be like, wait. What did I just read?
Yeah.
And then you got to go back again. Oh my God,
yeah.
that's me.
Like I couldn't recall a single thing that I just
like you be sitting there and you know you're reading the words, but then you're like, wait, how did I get this far?
Yeah, like wait,
and then you
what
got to
just
go
happened?
back.
Ooh.
I probably
You know what? You know what I just thought of? The Bible's kind of like Narnia. You know?
Yeah.
It's like you go into I haven't
The
watched
wardrobe.
Narnia fully.
The wardrobe.
So I don't know much about it.
I
but
got you, don't worry.
concept. Like you go into the wardrobe, it's a regular closet. It's a closet, right?
Yeah, it's like a closet that's not like connected. Yeah.
Yeah, so you go into the wardrobe, you look in, it looks like a regular wardrobe. But then you move the clothes and you go to the
move
back.
stuff out the
and
way.
you're just like, whoa.
You open your spiritual
There's
eyes
a
begin to open. Yeah.
There's a whole like what was Narnia, like a place?
Yeah,
like
it was like a whole foreign land in there.
A whole foreign land in there.
Yeah.
And it's like you can see it like if you want to. If you wanted to see it, if you want to find it, like you will find Narnia. But like it's like if you're just kind of opening up the wardrobe just to open it up, you're not going to find Narnia. Like I remember a long time ago there was this guy and he told me, yeah, I read the Bible like back to front and I got nothing from it. I don't believe in God like that. But I gave him a chance. You didn't, but like now, like looking back on that, I'm like, you didn't give him a chance, really. You came in with preconceived notions. You read through the Bible and you were just like, oh, this is just a regular wardrobe. If you can kind of see how I'm saying that. Oh, this is just a regular book. The Bible is not a regular book. And you need the Holy Spirit to help you find, like, to help you discover that. Like, it's really not just a regular book. But if you come in just saying, this is a regular book and I'm just going to read it and I'm not going to get anything from it because this is a book.
Yeah.
Then it's just going to be a book.
Yeah. Oh, I would also say version matters.
Yeah, the version does matter too.
Please don't be a baby Christian that's never read the Bible trying to read the KJV.
Set yourself
the
up for
way
success.
the King James version is written. I am just now getting to a place where I can grasp the understanding, but I always either I read the New Living Translation version and then read the King James, or I read the King James and go back in the New Living.
You be thinking like,
Just
where they get that from?
nah, like some stuff after he had went to the place after he had went, I'm like, and thou and saith what? By the time you read the verse, you confuse. What does this even mean? So that's why the Bible app is lit, because YouVersion.
Yeah.
Shout out YouVersion. At this point, we need a sponsorship because I always mention it in this app. But yeah, YouVersion has like almost every version of the Bible that you could think of. So yeah, it's easy. Amplified, lit, NLT, King James. NIV is okay, but some things are like missing or like really off. So I don't really read the NIV like that.
Yeah, jump from version to version so you can get like the fullness of what you're reading.
Yeah, and then just ask the Holy Spirit to step into that
Right.
Bible
Oh,
time.
and if you don't like to read, they read it for you too. I remember that.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could change the voice too. The one in the King James version literally sounds like someone from Narnia is reading it. Like he sounds British, don't he?
And,
After God had said.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
He sounds like a cool guy. But what about you, Ashley? Being set apart, what's that like for you?
I was trying to hold on to that thought. Ashton earlier said it's mentally like taxing, it's mentally challenging to be set apart because people, obviously the majority, will look at you and be like, why are you different? Why are you acting like that? Stop acting like that. You're weird. And they're doing that because they don't understand you, and basically they're trying to get you back on their side because the majority makes more sense since more people are over there than you just standing on your own. But I thought of Edgar Allan Poe when he was talking about, I don't know which the two, you know that that poem with the two roads, and he's like, I chose the road less traveled by, and that made all the difference. Because it really does make a difference to choose the road less traveled by, like, because you're the one that's actually like questioning the road that the majority is going on, and you're just like, why are all of y'all going on that road over there? I'm actually gonna try this road out. And that's not to say that you should just choose a different road just because everybody's over here, you know? Bringing this back to the Bible now, there's this idea of the broad road and then there's the narrow road. The narrow road is obviously harder to stay on because it is narrow. You make one off movement and you're off the road. The broad road, it's easy to stay on it because it doesn't take much to stay on the road because it's broad. But the thing about the narrow road, it leads to life. The broad road in the Bible leads to death. So you want to stay on the narrow road. And, you know, what has really encouraged me to stay on that narrow road, the road less traveled by, is that just seeing like how real God is, you know, because if I was believing in the God that people of old would talk about, the God that doesn't really care about you much, that doesn't a God that's not in the details, but he's just ruling on his throne and he's just very harsh, I wouldn't want to stay on the road less traveled. I wouldn't want to stay on the narrow road. I would fall off the road. I would actually choose to get off the road and go to the broad road. But because of how in the details I know God is, because of how he has opened my eyes when I'm reading the scriptures to how real the scriptures are, like they're not just there trying to rule over us, but they're so real. For example, I love rom-coms. I love rom-coms. I love love triangles. I love when the guy gets with the girl and they live happily ever after. I love that. So when I was reading, I think it was with Jacob. Was this in Genesis? I'm not sure. But Jacob, there was a love triangle. God really revealed to me it was a whole love triangle.
Rachel,
and Leah.
Yeah.
I was like, God like showed it to me like it was a love triangle, and I was like, tell me more.
Dog, Genesis got the sauce.
I was
okay?
like, tell me more. It was like because I love watching those movies. To All the Boys I Loved Before, I loved that movie.
Did you see all three of them?
I did see all three of them.
Me
I love the
too.
first one the most though. But
When
Yeah,
a
it's
movie could have stayed with the
Whatever.
first one.
Alright.
Did you watch The Kissing Booth?
nah, I did. I didn't like it as
It's
much.
a bit
It's a-
triangle-y. The
the
last
third
one.
Misleading
the most.
movies.
Or was there only two? There was only two. The second.
Was no.
There were
I-
only two.
Were there?
Kissing
No.
Booth only had two.
Oh, okay.
Good riddance.
Y'all, what are we talking about? We literally dove
okay.
into like...
So I could tell you how we got here. So I was saying that when God reveals himself just in the most like creative ways and one way, like reading the words, seeing a whole love triangle in there, then that for me is very encouraging on the walk. On when you're so set apart and you're feeling so isolated. You're like, well, I'm okay because I'm enjoying this road over here. I'm enjoying this because God's revealing himself to me in so many ways through his word. And then you start seeing it even around you. Like you start seeing the world around you starts changing because now you're in this relationship with God, this very real relationship with God. So now it's like you hear him in the wind, you see him in nature, you hear him through your friends, you hear him through like the shows, the music that you watch, strangers even, he will send people your way. And it's just very beautiful that he will use any little thing to contact you because like he loves you so much, so that's what's really encouraging me, and there's no limitation. Like people of old, like people that know him, like have, what am I trying to say? People that put God in a box don't talk like this. They don't talk about him like this.
Facts.
That's not a relationship that you're going to want. But if you know that he's so real and he's so in the details and he designed you like in a way that he did not design anybody else, like that's going to encourage you to stay in the road less traveled by, like if you will. So that's how we got to that. And I went off on a spiel. Okay.
And then we started talking about rom-coms
And rom-coms.
and all kinds of stuff. But being set apart, we really wanted to end the series on this note simply because literally after you've taken everything that we've already talked about, you end up here, which is realizing that as you grow closer to God, your heart for things starts to change. Like you don't have the same interests anymore. You don't want to go to the same places. You don't want to do the same things. And I realize our generation of Christians, we just always point out like sex before marriage and fornication. We talk about drugs, we talk about alcohol and stuff like that. But those aren't the only things that your heart gets changed about. That unforgiveness in your heart is changed. Your anger is changed. Maybe you realize that you need to go to therapy. Like stuff starts to change. You're going to realize that certain environments aren't for you anymore. And I'm not just talking about the club. Maybe your church that you're going to, God been needing you to move for a very long time and you haven't. Maybe now getting closer to God, you have a heart to serve. Maybe now you have a heart to give. So it doesn't just change your interests on the things that people always talk about. Your musical interests change, your TV show interests change, like a lot of things start to change, and that's literally okay. Like our in-laws were here recently, and Ashton, his mom, was just talking about it, how literally even with me, when I found out that Ashton didn't drink alcohol, I looked at him sideways. What do you mean you don't drink alcohol? He was like, it tastes nasty. Excuse me? You can't tell me coconut rum and milk tastes nasty. And he's just like, I don't need that stuff. I thought he was crazy. And I'm not the only one. Like, he has been hassled about drinking alcohol. Like, people have called him out of his name. How could you not drink alcohol? And I was just like, there were times where I wanted to even tell him, bro, lighten up. Have a drink. Why are you acting like that? But then I realized it wasn't him that wasn't a problem, obviously. It was me. There's nothing wrong with not drinking alcohol at all. Like, even now, I ask myself, what's the point? Why do you want it? What's the reason? What can alcohol do for you that God can't do? And it's a little rough because people might think, oh, that's so dramatic. Why are you being like that? Maybe you just want to take the edge off. Why God can't take the edge off? Why, instead of going to a bottle, why can't I decide that maybe I need to take a step away and get closer to God? For some reason, that's looked at sideways. And it's just like, you're not drinking. So if anybody knows how hard it is to be set apart, not because Ashton caves under peer pressure or anything like that, because he does not. This is one man that lives in a bubble that you cannot penetrate that bubble. The only person that probably could poke that bubble is me. Literally. This man don't care. He'd sit down and watch everybody get like stupid drunk. And he'd be dancing and you would swear he had a drink. No. Very much sober. Because he just knows how to be a fun person. And if you need any of that to like have a good time, then what does that say about you? Like, not to shame anybody, but are you that boring?
Right.
Sober?
Look at the root of it.
Do you like? And I understand, like, yeah, you want to go have a drink at the end of the day, go celebrate something or whatever. But if you like trying to drown your sorrows in substances, the same thing you running away from could be there when you sober up. There's something else. The drinking, the smoking, the fornication, the everything else, the unforgiveness, the lying, the whatever it is that you struggle with, that is the fruit of something. It's not the root. You gotta get to the root. And on that note, go to therapy. Go to therapy, bro. And I'm not just saying this to say this. I've been in therapy since last year, November.
I'm gonna get on that.
Hello. I pay for that with my insurance.
So much clarity.
I swear, like, God and therapy, you can't go wrong. But yeah,
you almost at your year anniversary of therapy.
Yeah, for real. I have therapy on Tuesday, actually. But yeah, it's been a mind-blowing experience. And a lot of who I am isn't because I just want to be this way. All of this is the fruit. Well, all the negatives at least, because
Yeah, because I feel like therapy kind of helps to uproot those bad seeds or that bad fruit that's there.
Yeah, all the weeds.
All the weeds.
And your therapist don't just say, hey, this is your problem. It be more like they ask the right questions to help you to find the root. They're not going to say, oh, this is the root of your problem. They're going to be like, okay, have you thought about it like this?
Right.
What makes you feel that way? Yeah. And the Bible helps with that too. Because ain't nothing in the Bible, ain't nothing you going through ain't that happen. Like, so yeah. But it's just God transforms everything. It's not just about the basic stuff. It's about everything. He changes your heart for everything as you get closer to him. And then you realize that, hey, I can't have these friends. I can't hang out with these people. I can't go to this place. I need to change this. I can't watch that anymore. I don't want to listen to that. And those things are hard. Those things are hard. They're not just because
choices that go against what you
normally
do.
Just because God changed your heart towards something doesn't mean it's gonna just be like super easy for you to just let that go.
You know what's so funny too? Like, even if you do like change and you think like, okay, I'm about to lose a whole bunch of friends. I'm about to start doing a whole bunch of stuff. You don't even know it. Your friends could probably be super supportive of you making that decision, and you don't even know. You're just blocking yourself based on what you think that they're gonna, react about it. And really, bro, like if they're your friends for real, they're gonna support you.
That's true.
So might as well dive into
So
it if
true.
you really want to start living a life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You may not get your flowers as within the time when it's happening. It may happen a couple of years, couple of months, couple of weeks down the line.
Yeah.
But while it's happening, don't expect those immediate flowers because it may not happen.
Yeah,
probably
don't
won't happen.
expect recognition. Because even with me and Ashley, when we stopped going out, we told all our friends. Not like we don't want to go anywhere, but we told them, hey, going these places right here, we are uninterested.
Off
Now
the
we could
table.
go bowl, we could go skate, we could go to museums, we could go to the movies, we could do all that stuff. But the partying and the clubs and the drinking and stuff like that, we don't partake. And all our friends are super supportive, and they stop asking. If they want to hang with us, they literally make time to say, we're going to have a game night and come over, or let's go out to eat or whatever. And that's how we vibe. And we don't take it personally that we don't get invited to places. We know we wasn't going anyway. So if your friends love you, they should support you doing anything that's going to be beneficial for you. Anything. They should be supportive even if they don't understand. Hey, I love you. I don't understand this God thing that you got going on. But hey, if it's going to help you become a better person, I support it.
Go for it. Yeah.
And you don't know how much of your friends you can inspire by being the one person in the group to say, hey guys, we ain't going nowhere. Because I understand, like, now we want to live our lives and have fun. Like, we don't want to survive no more. We want to thrive. We don't want to just live off survival. I get it. But you don't want to waste so much of your time that when you 50, you looking at your life and you don't have nothing to show for it. You have not found your purpose. Not saying that you can't be 50 and find your purpose. You might not even make it to 50.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
Yeah, you don't know what
time,
you got.
like literally life is so short. Like you was here today. It kills me when I go on the social media of people that passed away the day before and they just posted the day before. Of course they didn't have no idea they was gonna die. But it's insane. You were literally just here 12 hours ago. And now you're not. And what do you have to show for it? That's why you got to live every day, every single day, showing up and just doing everything in love. And that's, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'm about to
baby.
say any final thoughts because
Ooh.
I've
okay.
already put my thoughts out.
Final thoughts for me. When you go on this walk with God, you're choosing Him, but then you're also choosing you, because you can be out there with everybody else, but if you know already that that's not like the best option, that's not the better option. If you know God is the option, like the best option that you could ever choose, and you still want to go out there and hang out like with people that are not good for you, that who does that do a disservice to? Because God is still God.
Yeah. Oh.
He's still on the throne. Like he's still Him. Your choice to choose Him or not does not affect Him really. Like it'll make Him sad because He loves you, but He's still God. But who does it affect at the end of the day? It affects you. So you have to choose. You choose God, but you're also choosing you. And in regards to like, if you're upset that your friends no longer want to like hang out with you and everything because of your decision, your choice to change, like it's okay to feel like that. But then you have to bring it. You can't just kind of put a rug over that. Like bring it to God so He can do something about it. That's kind of like what you're doing in therapy, really. Because for me, like there's years and years of trauma that have just been, there's a rug over it. So now what's going on in therapy is that we're taking the rug off and we're going through the stuff so that we can let stuff go. And I just think of this verse, like you can't pour new wine into old wineskins.
Come on.
It's like if you want to grow and you want God to bless you more and you want God to take you places and to use you, well, he can't pour new wine into old wineskins because the wineskins will burst. The wineskin, you have to take those old wineskins and get rid of them so you can and get some new wineskins. You have to take that old mentality and let it go so you can be renewed. Your mind can be renewed so that he can actually like pour into you. It's like with someone that's like praying and praying and praying and praying for like, God, like, please give me some money. Please give me some more money. But like they don't have a good mindset about money. They're not a good steward of money. So it's like he can't give you more money because it's just gonna slip through your fingers. You're gonna squander it.
Yeah.
So it's that renewing of the mind. It's so important that we bring every little thing to him because he can take it and give you a new mindset. And then with that new mindset, then he can pour into it more and more. So those are my final thoughts.
That's so good. And I'm so proud of you for going to therapy.
Thanks.
We out here. Therapy's lit. Yeah, y'all. Go to therapy in real life.
It hurts for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then it's lit.
And then it's going to hurt again because then you can reach something else. And therapy isn't just about the past because things in your now life are going to happen while you're in therapy.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to take a break from talking about the past and be like, hey, so this happened yesterday and we need to talk about it.
Right.
But you good? Any last words?
Yeah, it was impactful, and it just showed us like how we need to act out of love through God and just looking towards God more, just being better at approaching God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. You know,
Yeah.
and God is love. So, and basically, exactly what Ashley was saying. You gotta give it up. You gotta give it away, so you can end up having more. Just like the song.
Just like
Yeah. You hold it tight, you won't have any.
Hold it tight, and you won't have.
You lend it, you spend it.
Spend
Yeah.
it. You have so many to roll,
You can roll
all over the floor.
Yeah.
Love
Because it's something that you
give it
away.
Hey,
Yeah,
give it
give it
away.
away. Give it
Anyway, on that note, guys, thank you so much for watching or
Yeah, you see.
listening.
It's your boy
If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell to be notified anytime we upload a new episode, which is usually Tuesdays at 9 a.m. as of right now.
You can catch up with your boy.
If you're
at
watching on
Knowing
YouTube and
Tunes.
you prefer to listen, click the link in the description, and that'll be where you could find our links to the audios on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and you also could connect with us. All our social media handles are down there, as well as the More the Conversation handle. If you guys want us to address any topics, feel free to DM us, email us, and let us know. But until next time, Hanson.
Woogity.
MTC on 3. 1, 2, 3. MTC. Bye, guys.
Yes.